Hi, welcome to the Industry Astrology Full Moon Forecast for July of 2023. The moon is waxing, growing bigger and brighter. Energy is increasing. How are you feeling? The moon is increasing in light, growing brighter and bigger, and on July 3rd at 4:38 a.m., the moon will reach the end of the Purnima Tithi and then begin to wane again. Expansive, future vision, excited, maybe even overly excited, wanting to go beyond limitations, try something new. This is the first full moon after the solstice, a very special full moon. Here in the northern hemisphere, we are inundated by the light of the sun now, which is at its peak, and this full moon is a supermoon. That means it's about 7% bigger and brighter than normal. Celebrated as the auspicious Guru Purnima. Guru is a teacher, a counselor, a guide, anything that teaches you, in fact, to go beyond your limitations, to see beyond your patterns, and to eventually free you, liberate you into the next chapter. It's said that under the Guru Purnima full moon is when the very first teacher of yoga, the Adi Yogi, Lord Shiva took the form of Adi Yogi, and he transmitted the knowledge of yoga to the Saptarishis. So this is the full moon really of wisdom, of that transference of wisdom from teacher to student in particular, and this amazing evolution of the human spirit from generation to generation through all of time as we learn and grow from our teachers, from our parents, from whatever guides you. Maybe it's a role model or an actual spiritual teacher, or perhaps it's something even deeper, an inner guide, a spirit guide that is calling you to step out of your limitations, to step out of your fears, to let go of the past. So this full moon is really a good one. It's an auspicious full moon for setting intentions, for taking classes, for thanking your teachers. That's traditionally what we do on Guru Purnima, is honoring teachers, honoring gurus. Also, Jupiter, the planet of the guru, is making a trinal dristi. This is a very harmonic gaze or aspect onto this full moon, which is even augmenting the power of this full moon even more, the positive power of growth and opportunity. Now, Rahu has been also doing this with Jupiter. Rahu and Jupiter have been together since April, and unfortunately, that shadow on Jupiter, Rahu is the shadow of the eclipse. This combination is called Guru Chandal Yoga, and it is a hard and difficult aspect, actually, for these Jupiterian principles, the principles of higher wisdom, the humanities, and all these things that we celebrate in Guru Purnima, actually teaching and education, and how we raise our children. And so it's interesting, we've seen already in just the last few days, I think a lot of this expressing perhaps in some of the Supreme Court decisions in the United States, changing the laws and knocking down affirmative action. But at this turning point of the lunar cycle, this great Guru Purnima, there is still this blessing of Jupiter very strong on the moon. And I think this is a powerful time to be really looking at how you can step into the next phase in your own personal growth, how you can help others, and how we can become more of a human family together on this planet. This full moon is in the area of the sky called Purva Ashara, the invincible star. This is a star associated with Lord Ganesha that removes all obstacles in our path. And also it's connected to Apas, this nourishing water of the oceans, of the rivers, of the streams that purify the earth, that keep us alive, keep us growing. So this is a powerful time to be tapping into that water element, that nourishing, purifying element of water, how you nourish others, how you nourish yourself. These are all questions right now around this full moon. And Yes, of course, Guru, Jupiter, is the great nourisher. Coming up just after this full moon, Venus, the goddess of love, relationships, connectivity, financial security, beauty and art, luxury, all of these themes. Venus is going to be crossing over the Gandanta from Cancer, watery Cancer, into fiery Leo. She's going to be going over this Gandanta 2 more times, in fact, because she is going to turn retrograde on July 22nd. This retrograde cycle is a rite of passage for Venus. She is going to be transforming from her position as evening star into morning star by September, Lucifer, morning star. Now, this time in between where she's passing from one side to the other of the sun, you could say from the evening to the morning, she goes through a death and rebirth process that is just extremely important for the evolution of our hearts, our emotional bodies. There's a lot that can be learned in the Venus retrograde cycle around boundaries, around meeting your needs, around love and connection, intimacy, and around financial security, around creative expression. It is a whole process, and it is an edgy process sometimes too, which can feel frustrating and uncomfortable, but also very enlightening, especially when we get to later on in the fall, well, September, when she rises as morning star. So I'm going to put on a 2-hour class, live Zoom class again, for those who are interested in learning more about this very special cycle of Venus coming up. I've also prepared horoscopes, Venus horoscopes for all 12 Vedic signs. This class is really important for people who are in Venus dashas. If you know if you're in a dasha, if you don't, you should get a reading with me and I can tell you. I will leave a link in the description window below for you to sign up, and there will be a recording available for everybody who registers. All right, so let's take a look at what the tarot cards have to say about this supermoon Guru Purnima in Purva Ashada. Okay, so the first card that came through is the 7 of Wands. The 7 of Wands actually has to do with Mars and Leo, which is where where Mars is actually right now. You know, there is something that is very hot, very fiery. Kind of reminds me of the heat waves that we're having around certain parts of the country and around the world, and the ongoing forest fires. This energy of Mars and Leo, and soon Venus will be in Leo as well, stationing. Also, we have Jupiter in Aries and Rahu in Aries. There's a lot of fire this year, which can feel a little bit too much heat, too much pressure, a lot of things to do, a lot of excitement, especially around a full moon where everything can get even more expanded, and especially such a super moon like this as well. The next card is the Justice card. You know, I even mentioned earlier that I was talking about the Supreme Court, that Jupiter really has to fight Rahu in this time, and it's not easy. This Guru Chandal Yoga is going to continue until October, and so what is right and wrong? Yeah, this full moon really is illuminating that maybe for you in your heart. What is true? What is the right path for you? And the final card, which is so auspicious, is the Wheel of Fortune, which is actually Jupiter's card, the Guru. Very appropriate for Guru Purnima. This card also is talking about the wheel of samsara, which is what a guru, ultimately like a spiritual guru, is supposed to help the student to get off this wheel, to find freedom from going around and around in the same patterns, the same illusions. Powerful reading for this Guru Purnima. This is, yeah. Take a look. The path of Dharma is sometimes a difficult path that requires fierce determination and action. Sometimes the heart can be filled with fire of hope and inspiration, and other times it's falling down. But what comes down must come up, and there is a karmic balance that is always sustaining itself. Though it may be as difficult as walking on a razor's edge, search for the path. Trust in the balance of karma. Trust in the natural balance of this world. Okay, well, thanks for coming to the Anandashri Astrology Full Moon Forecast. I do offer one-on-one readings on Zoom if you're interested in getting a Vedic astrology reading or tarot reading. You can book in the link below and on my website, anandastrology.com. Also, check out my newsletter. It's free. You can calculate your birth star on my website and get on the newsletter. Also, check out my class coming up and subscribe to this YouTube channel, and I will see you soon on the next moon.